Okay, so
In a world of sunsets and decay, in a time where being different means trouble, a man and a cat are destined for a change.
so obviously from a much longer trailer. Um, the film's called Ugly, and it's got like the worst. Now those glitches that you get in games that people put videos of and they start howling because that leg comes up out of nowhere and an eyeball disappears or floats off the head and stuff. He's kind of made a film out of all those glitches, and it's crazy. So after it, it's like wee crap square zebras walking through walls and stuff like that. But apparently, it won loads of awards. So I've cut the trailer down to 30 seconds. And what I've done was I went online and I wrote down last night all the sounds that I thought we had to find here. So two background noises of kind of dystopian sort of post-apocalyptic city sounds, loads of wind, loads of dust, all that sort of stuff. I found a really basic explosion, which we'll need to do some work on to make it come to life. Got some growls, two engine noises, some fires, glass smashing, cat noises, a creaking swing, that sort of stuff. And then I just repopulated it, so there's no dialogue in it, but this is what we've ended up with effectively.
Did you sample it from somewhere?
No, well, it's the BBC Sound Library. It's free now for academic purposes. It's amazing. Like, total game changer. Beforehand, it was always these really low quality MP3s you would get from like Sound Bible and freesoundeffects.com and all that. But they've got all these high quality WAV files.
Use them.
Yeah. So absolutely, you just look up BBC Sound Library online and then you just search for it. So it's pretty cool. Loads of stuff I didn't expect as well. Plus, I've got all the old Doctor Who sound effects. So if you're into that, then cool. Okay, so this is my one here. Cool. Okay, so it's just ready for the dialogue there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through the whole process there, and it shouldn't take me longer than about 15 minutes, okay? It might not quite be as in time as this, but as this sort of Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier sort of vibe, but let's kind of walk through it. So I'm just going to call it Audio for Multimedia, Week 1 activity. Always make sure, of course, it's saved to your own folder, so location, and then navigate to your documents in your desktop folder. Okay, CD quality audio will do, and click create. So there's a few things obviously that we have to import in here. On the VLE in the week 1 folder, there is a sound effects folder. And in that folder you'll find all of these sounds and the video as well. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sounds and one trailer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import all the audio, and I'm going to import the video as well. Make sure that I copy the audio and the video in the way in every stage of the way. So here's my shortcut, Command Shift and I to bring in audio. This takes me to my sound effects folder. So if I just hold in Command, I can select one at a time here as I feel the need, and click copy all, not add, but copy. That moves it from this folder on the downloads or wherever I've saved it into the audio files folder for this session. Click done, and then open to move that across. Processes the audio. Put them all in new tracks in here. And there we go, I've got my audio, and there's the waveforms as well. So obviously we need to edit these and cut these down in order to make them fit. Then I need to bring in the video as well. So go to File, Import Video, and Ugly Trailer Edit. Make sure you bring in the audio from the file. That allows you just to check, it's fine, to check the, if you need to get a vibe eye of where things were, then that gives you the option to do that. I'll just mute it for the time being. So the first time you bring this in, it may ask you if you want to initiate or enable the video engine. So you just click yes, and then your video will work. To get the video up and down, we can toggle Command and Keypad 9. Okay, but if you're unsure about anything that floats or anything that you're looking at that you can't see, either check the view drop down or the window drop down. In this case it's the window, and we can go to video and put it in and out. What we'll do over the next couple of weeks is set up markers, so when we're using videos that we can basically just set little markers to say when the action points are happening, but because this is such a small video we don't really need to bother with it. So what I'm going to do is just go through it chronologically with the sounds that I've got in here, and just try and start to layer things up. Now there's a really important tool that we're going to use up here, and it's this Smart tool. So by clicking on the little bar above these three functions of the mouse, it means that wherever I put my mouse on the waveform, the function changes. So above halfway I've got the selector tool, under halfway I've got the grabber tool. If I go to the edge of the clip itself, I can trim it, bring it back, which is really handy. And if I go to the top, I can do that at the start of the waveform as well. And these have got loads of musical applications as well when you're mixing and editing your music. But there's a really good function, is that when you do a cut like this, now that probably glitch when it comes out here, because I've just cut that waveform really uglily, right in the middle of the audio. So that's going to, of course, glitch. The wee pop will come out because your speaker doesn't like the fact that it just got to stop and send us relatively square wave. So with the Smart tool on, is that?
You got automation?
You can, and this we will be for the main video, but I'm not going to use it this morning, but we'll definitely get to that. In here, when I go up to top right, the function of the mouse turns to a wee square, which is a fade. So I can put really minute fades in and out at each side of my waveform there, in order just to clean the audio up a little bit. So again, once you know that you've got those three functions, then you don't really need to change out of them. You can just use these to cut and edit things. Make sure that you're in slip mode. Okay, we don't need any musical or gridded information here, not for the time being. So we're going to use slip mode, and that means that I can go wherever I want on the timeline rather than just stuck to the grid itself. And a very important shortcut that you're going to use to do a lot is Command plus E. And that allows you to cut the waveform at a selected point. So if I go to halfway up in the waveform, I've got my little selector tool, I do Command and E, I can then cut this audio into little chunks and then move that around independent of the rest. And there's one more shortcut as well actually that's really useful, and it's just Command plus M. What do you think that does when selected on a clip? Good, excellent, okay. Because sometimes you don't want to delete it and then have to go and search for it later, so you can just maybe make a cut, select it, Command M to mute it, and then move it out of the way, and it's there for later on. So I'll do that extensively when I'm recording people's different takes. Sometimes I might lose them from the session, so maybe keep them in time but move them to later on and just mute them so that they're there. If I'm doing a take and I'm maybe taking out, say, a snare hit, tom hits, these little things during the performance, I'll probably just mute them rather than delete them, because it means that I might change my mind later and I've got them if I need them, if necessary.
So you can make that tiny individual block that and make the whole channel.
Exactly, that's it. So it's a form of automation if you think of it that way, but it mutes them in and out. So the footprint on the screen is quite large now, so I'm just going to resize that down. And of course, with the slip on, it means that I can scrub along the video, and you'll see that if I'm trying to just get a cut point spot on, then if I keep zooming in, I get more and more resolution. Okay, so if I'm looking for all these main cuts, I can just kind of scrub along till I find it. So the first thing I'm going to do is introduce some background noise, which I've got here. Let's solo this and see how it sounds. That's fine. Okay, so what I want us to do is at the start is just for us to fade in just before the green screen totally disappears, to introduce a wee bit of drama. That's pretty good just as it is, and you'll find that there's loads of wee happy accidents when you bring in songs that just go in time out. It's one of the most satisfying things, because you can sit for hours nudging little samples around, little sounds around, and you bring in a bit of audio, like a bit of music, and it just glues the whole thing together, where you've got big crash cymbals, there's cuts and all that on the screen. So you always will get little happy accidents, but you'll also get the same amount of frustrations, so just keep that in mind. Okay, that looks good. It's coming in, but I know that's quite bassy. If I had a subwoofer here, you'd hear all this fluff down there, all this kind of mud. So I'm just going to put a wee high pass filter into that, just to make it sound a bit more distant. You can also automate, for instance, one of these little filters in here to create the sound of wind. This was something that students were doing last year.
He's got a radio.
I like tuning the radio, exactly, which is exactly what you did with the radio. So yeah, cool wee thing there. So I'm just going to put a high pass filter in there and just drop out some of that, so it just sounds a wee bit more distant. Okay, so that looks good. I need to work out when I want to bring this out. So I want to keep it in the background here, and then cut it out just when that cut comes in there to that building falling down. So I'm just going to scrub along till I get to somewhere where I want it to be, just right at the end of this bit. Okay, so I'm going to make a cut in there with Command and E, and then I'm just going to mute this next bit here. Put my smart tool on and put a little bit of a fade out, and then let's just see, and take your time, just keep looping things round. It's only a half-minute video, so it's not going to take too long to keep additioning new ideas. I want to feel like it doesn't just drop out, but I can't have it. Good, I can't have it, just going stop, and I also can't have it trailing over into the next scene. So a little tiny fade out there will introduce these other new sounds and allow us to kind of go through it. Okay, there's an explosion in here, which isn't that noticeable, but if we go back to the original.
In a world of sunsets and decay.
Okay, we've got this explosion in there. So I'm going to use this basic explosion sound that I've got. Now you could hear there with that explosion, not only was there an impact sound and there was a sort of distant rumble to it, but there was a high frequency sort of clanging kind of sound. That sounded...
Almost like a gun.
Yeah, exactly, and also you've got that kind of metallic bullet kind of sound, maybe popping out the side. The sound designers, of course, decided, right, I need to create some sort of crunching, impactful sound here. So it's perhaps blended together a few different sounds. I've got this one called Basic Explosion, so hold on to your hats, but you're probably not going to be blown away by this. Right, okay.
That sounds like a gun.
That's very much like a gun. So what I'm going to do is I've used my little musical tool here, Tab to Transient, which allows me to use the Tab key just to get right into the waveform, right at the start of it. Then I make my cut, which is Command E. I'm just going to delete the bit before it, and now I can just scrub this along until I get it to where I need it to be. So it's just at that first cut, just about somewhere round about here. Okay, so this is a wee bit of trial and error. I'm just going to have to take it backwards and forward till I find it sounds natural. I've just got it soloed. Oh, spot on. Here we go, so let's try it with the background sounds. That'll do for now. Okay, now we can obviously use effects to fluff that sound out and to make it much nicer. I'm just going to trim this little waveform in here just so I know it's not going to glitch or anything. Cool. That'll be more important when I start putting effects on this track. If I had wee artifacts in here I couldn't hear, they could actually be amplified by reverbs, delays, anything I might be using. So just cleaning that up right now makes sense. Okay, what's the next action point here? Okay, we've got like a dog growling, I think. Okay, so just a little kind of animal sound. So in here I've got growls. So I've got obviously for about half a minute of them. So we just need to pick something we think is going to work. Ah yeah, I'm on timber. Okay, so...
I thought it was tea.
Wee bit of the rabies today. Okay, I quite like this one here. It's also very close to where I need it to be. So again, I can use Tab to Transient just to lock that little waveform right in. And I've not listened to the rest of them. I've got loads of options here. I'm just going to mute that and move it just out of the way for the time being. Okay, let's try and bring this back and see if it works.
It's so good how that works. Like,
Just the scrubbing along.
Yeah.
Aye. And I mean, immediately you'll find that the video sometimes, see if you keep hitting play and then stopping it and going back and play and stopping it, it will lag a little bit. Sometimes just take it back a wee bit further before the sound that you're wanting comes in, and it gives it the video time to load in and all that sort of stuff. So if you feel like it's kind of a wee bit scratchy or a wee bit glitchy, then just let it run in for a second before it, and it should sort itself out. Okay, so let's bring this back. I'm just going to zoom in here to give me a wee bit more resolution. Here it is. Terrifying beast. Here we go. There, let's try this. And I'll put a wee fade out so that it can maybe come in a wee bit early, but it's not going to be that noticeable. Cool, so I'll put a wee fade in and a wee fade out. It's not very scary at the time being, but once I've got it lined up, I can then put sound effects onto
What
it.
was the shortcut for that again?
For what?
For the fade in, fade out?
Basically, just make sure you've got Smart Tool on and go up to the top left or right of your waveform.
Right.
Once you see that wee square, it means that you can fire a fade in.
Right.
Once the fade's in, you can double click on it and then change the shape of it as well.
Oh, that's really
Okay, so loads and loads of functions there. And to delete it, you just make sure that the fade's selected and hit delete and it gets rid of it on top of it. Cool, okay, so far so good. So let's just move this up so that it's in time with the rest of it. Makes sense to have it sort of chronologically coming down. Makes it easy to kind of organise. Let's see it so far with the background noise. Cool. Okay, next one I've got is engine noises. Now I was kind of struggling to get anything that would sound like a really fast, powerful car at the top of its sort of, revs basically. So I had to get an engine just revving up in neutral, and then I got a kind of engine sound of a car passing. And the idea is we're going to blend these together to try and create something that's a bit more intense. So let's hear the first one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this waveform here and start it here, but because of that, I'll need to put a wee fade in, otherwise it's of course going to glitch when it comes in. Let me just hear that. I want to get right to the kind of loudest point, because I've only got a tiny little bit where the video of the car's actually in the video here. Okay, cool, I'll line that up. As much as possible. I'm not really sure what's going on in that particular view there, but okay. Okay, and I better cut that as well. So I'm just going to fade that out. Just a wee bit shorter. Again, I can trim my fades just by using my little trimmer tool there. Looks okay. Let's hear this other engine sound. He's a bit of fear just listening to that. My car would explode if I'd done that. Right, okay, so now I'm just going to blend this in, and hopefully the idea is that the both of them together give me this kind of nice collective angry engine sound. Pretty cool. Better than just one or the other on their own there. So I'm just going to, again, check this out and bring it up to a point. Okay, just going to actually bring these back just a wee touch. And then...
Do you need a license to use all the BBC sound effects?
No, it's just for non-commercial applications, so students can use them easy.
I see I want to use them for music or something.
You'd need to just get in touch with them and try and get a license from them. Read into that how you will. Cool, that's okay. So it seems a wee bit glitchy sometimes, the video, so you just need to kind of bear with it. It should be fine, but that's why we use CD quality audio, so that we're not putting too much stress in the machine. Okay, the next bit is just this building tumbling down, and it's got loads and loads of flames on it. So I'm just going to cut any wee bit of the fire burning out of here and see how it sounds. Okay, like that, it's a bit more aggressive. You can see the waveform slightly bigger there. So I'll just start here, and I'll drag it back to where I need it to be. There, let's see that. Okay, we fade in, should clean that up. Just a wee bit early. Again, just take your time, mate, backwards and forwards until you get it right. Feel free to obviously zoom right in so you've got a bit more control over it. Round about there. I just want to come in right at the end of it. Remember, we'll look at this next week, but bringing in sounds before the visuals are shown you can actually be a really effective tool at creating emotion in the viewer at the end. You know, you introduce the next scene sonically, it gets your interest, and then you introduce the scene visually, and you've already established the sound. It's a really important tool, so quite useful. Okay, and then just pull this out. Again, I'm just going to rattle through the rest of these because I'm sure you understand what I'm kind of going for here. Just make sure there's no real overlap between things.
What was this movie called again?
Ugly, I think.
Oh,
Ugly. The trailer's on Vimeo if you want to check it out. Okay, so you get the general vibe of what I'm going for here and how I'm using these tools, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the one I was working on earlier and just walk you through some of the techniques I've used just to create a kind of different sound, if you will. What I've done here is, on my background tracks, I've got wind, ice and fire, I've got background noise, and these are basically coming in at the end here. There was a lot of low end rumble, so I've used a high pass filter on both of them just to drag the low frequencies out of it. That gives it the distance. In the explosion sound, I tried to introduce a little bit of bottom end impact sound, but it wasn't really happening. But what I did find was that when I brought in some reverb and just went through some presets to find something that I liked, and I was able to add a little bit of energy into it that perhaps wasn't there beforehand. Okay, again, just that softening of the high frequencies as well really makes it feel like it's distant, and it does make it more impactful. What else did I do? Well, just to make the growls sound a bit more scary, I did the classic zombie sound effect that you'll find in obviously Call of Duty, but in your old zombie films as well, which is to take the original growl and duplicate 2 copies of it and then pitch shift them so you create this little sequence, this little chord out of them, and it's really effective. So to do that, what I did was I just right clicked on the growl track and I hit duplicate, and it gives you all these options. Do you want to bring the active playlist, which is the clip that's there? You can also have alternate playlists which might have different takes, but rather than have them on their own individual tracks, you just keep them in this little hidden playlist within the channels. And then you can bring everything else over as well, any automation, any plugins you've got in, any sends that you've got to effects, and any groups that they belong to as well. So I'm just going to bring them all down here. So this is my duplicate in here. Now what I can do is there's a pitch shift tool that you can use in Pro Tools, but as you change the change the pitch, it shifts the length of the track. So if you want to shift it down, it then elongates it, which is a classic way of how you would do it traditionally. If you wanted something to sound deeper, you'd have to stretch it out. If you want something to sound higher pitch, you would speed it up, and therefore you would squish it in. In Pro Tools, we're going to use this little elastic audio plugin. Now we'll use this musically moving forward, but for the time being, we'll just use it polyphonically like this. So in a little elastic audio window here, just click polyphonic. It then analyses the audio. And if I just right click on it and go to elastic properties, I can then pitch shift it. So just listen to the original here. Let's pitch it down. Okay, blend it with the original. And 2 other ones I've made. Much more scary now. Okay, much more guttural. You can almost kind of, you can almost see the saliva just from listening to that there. So that's really it. Nothing else was too extreme, all just very basic. The main things I wanted you guys to take from this morning is this smart tool up here, so make sure that you've got that selected, okay? So it just saves a wee bit of time, and it allows you to clip, to edit the clips and to put in little fades as well. And again, once it's up and running, then you just keep playing it along. So that other session I had seemed just a wee bit glitchy. I think it's because I'm running this again, okay? But that's really it. If you get any questions. Okay, so the way this is going to work is you jump onto the VLE and there's the week 1 folder in audio for multimedia. Save that to your own folder, and there's a zip file in it that's got the 10 audio files and the video. I want you then to import the audio, import the video, and then just start cutting it up. Okay, again, to get the video up, it's Command +9, or keypad 9. And tab to transient as well. I can't really think of anything else you might need in here, as long as you're using your smart tool up top to change the function of the mouse, you should be totally jamming.
Right.
Yep.
I've got the